In today's news, Health Minister activates quarantine authority in response to coronavirus.
Will more legislators cross the floor? Who knows?
We have a live interview with the one and only Mr. Raymond Phillips of the Central Statistics Unit.
7.7 magnitude earthquake hits the Caribbean region.
Hit and run leaves woman dead in St. Thomas, and your weekly arrest blotter. These and more stories when Tweet 4 News returns.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. I'm Ron Grant.
And I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
Kyla, lots going on so far this week. It's been a busy news week, so let's get right into it. Topping our newscast today, the BVI Health Minister, the Honorable Carvin Malone, has activated the Quarantine Authority as a precautionary measure in response to the 2019 novel coronavirus outbreak in China. The Quarantine Authority is guided by the 2014 Quarantine Act, which makes provisions for the protection of public health by taking comprehensive measures to prevent the introduction and spread of quarantine diseases in the territory. The authority is chaired by the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Irad Potter, and consists of 6 additional members who represent the Department of Agriculture, BVI Ports Authority, BVI Health Services Authority, Environmental Health Division, and the Immigration Department. Minister for Health and Social Development, the Honorable Carvin Malone, issued a statement indicating that the government of the Virgin Islands remains committed to the protection of the health of all residents and visitors alike and is implementing public health measures. Honorable Malone said, and I quote, "Other agencies such as the Disaster Management, Her Majesty's Prison, the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, Fire and Rescue, and Immigration and Customs are also working in close consultation to provide enhanced surveillance of accurate respiratory infections, to increase education and awareness on the 2019 novel coronavirus, to provide recommendations on preventative measures such as hand washing, respiratory hygiene, and environmental sanitation, as well as to encourage the use of personal equipment by health workers, to conduct training programs, and to implement advanced processes to the effective management of ill passengers at primary ports of entry." According to the World Health Organization, as of January 28, there were 2,798 confirmed cases of patients with pneumonia caused by the new strain of coronavirus outside of China. At least 11 more countries have confirmed at least 1 case among travelers who visited Wuhan. Honorable Malone also stated that the additional measures are being forged with air and sea ports authorities along the health officials from islands, nations, the tourists commonly transit to and from. Kyla, we're watching this story very closely, but we're happy to see that our government is putting measures in place to make sure that the safety of all persons are...
Definitely.
Yes.
Being precautious and putting those measures in place are very, very much important. So, on to our next story. Since Honorable Alvaro Maduri Keynes, the representative for the 6th District, has crossed the floor to be a part of the VIP administration, there has been so many questions and a lot of conversations are being had about the possibility of another opposition member crossing the floor. Earlier this week, the Premier, he was basically saying that he is open to having these conversations.
Well, I'm sure he is.
Very open. If anyone wants to come over with an open mind, he is open to these conversations. But of course, the members of the opposition, they had something completely different to say. Last week, Thursday, the opposition had their monthly meeting, and of course there's questions, and the media basically asks, what if another person
Right.
had, of course, a lot of this is in the air, the possibility is there. And basically, Honorable Fraser let them to know. He recalled the years when he saw legislators went across the floor back and forth. He literally lists the years, Ron. And he let them to know, you know, he's been a part of an opposition of two, at least twice, you know. And then he also said, right after that, the government changed. So he is not afraid of being, you know, on the
Alone.
opposing
Yeah,
end
yeah.
at all. And then Honorable Turnbull, he basically said anything that comes easy, he does not want it. So all the members of the opposition right now seem to be dedicated to just pressing forward
Yeah, and serving on Her Majesty's Royal
and keeping
Opposition.
the government accountable. You know, a lot of mutters in the community as well. People are saying, you know, let's stop the division. But a good point that someone made was that a strong opposition is needed. And I
agree.
think people have to realize that someone has to keep the government accountable.
I totally agree with you. I think an opposition is similar to a media. A government or a country is only as strong as their reporters. And I think that the members of the opposition, I also learned of a statement where the Honorable Marlon Penn, leader of the opposition, said, listen, we've moved on from Honorable Keynes. We're continuing with the People's War.
He
But
did
Kyla,
say
it's
that.
something very interesting where the Honorable Fraser listed all of those persons who would have switched, because persons are now talking about maybe another opposition member is going to switch, but we have not considered, and I don't think persons have considered, that a member or members of the government can
Good
also
point.
switch to the opposition
Good point.
side. So it's something that we have to look at closely, but it's not something that's new to our society. It's happened many times. We've heard persons also get the name grasshopper, so we're going to see if we're going to have any more hopping back and forth.
We'll have to see, as you said. We never know. We're talking
Indeed.
about the opposition, but you never know. A person over on the government side might
Yes.
just switch over, but we will have to see.
Most definitely.
Viewers still ahead. Massive earthquakes continue to shake the Caribbean region, and Mr. Raymond Phillip in studio with us to give you, the viewers, information on Census 2020. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see, with the competition, which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
The whole on string bean, Tina kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE True now for only $149. Get LTE Free for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into Chaz for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll
See you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. As promised, with us today is Mr. Raymond Phillips, Director of the BVI Central Statistics Unit. Ron has all the information for you. So, Ron, take it away.
Thank you so much, Kyla. Ladies and gentlemen, as we stated earlier, with us today is Mr. Raymond Phillips, the Director of the Central Statistics Office, here to talk all things Census 2020. Mr. Phillips, thank you for joining us here on 284 Media.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, for persons who are not aware, obviously we know that the census takes place every 10 years. Explain to us in a few brief words, what is the census all about?
Well, a census is done in practically every country in the world every 10 years. Because it gathers information about households and individuals that you won't otherwise collect in other surveys. But this information is so important for the development of the country, and the reason it's done every 10 years because it's quite a very expensive exercise. Yes. So you could imagine it's not something that you would want to do too often. But in a nutshell, what it does is basically get information about your population, because the population is who you serve.
So what are some of the questions that persons in the general public could expect from the enumerators who will be coming to their homes?
Well, basically it's a set of questions from a set of different areas. So you'll find questions from like areas of health, like immigration, gender, nationality, ethnicity, among others, marital status. All of these are characteristics of the population that you want to have, so that when you're making decisions, whether to build a new school or whatever the case might be, you would have information on hand that you can use, to make sure that the decisions that you're making are sound decisions. Okay.
Now, Mr. Phillips, I want to touch a little bit on confidentiality, because that's a huge issue for many persons in our territory for different reasons. When enumerators come to their homes and they're sitting down and interacting with them and helping them, guiding them through the questionnaire, how can your organizations, or what can you say to me that would give assurance to the general public as it pertains to the confidentiality of sharing information?
Okay, first of all, let me say, this is the third census I've been involved in my department, and we have never had an issue where information was divulged outside. So, that in itself should, appease individuals' fear. But when every enumerator takes an oath, and if they break that oath and divulge any information or any data that they might collect from any individual, they are subject to fines and, and other penalties. And they know that up front. So the households or the individuals in the household could take confidence in knowing that whatever they give to that enumerator, more than likely that information would not be shared with anyone else because of the penalties they would face if they do such a thing.
Understood. And again, I think that really does lend itself to the issue of confidentiality. So we want to make persons aware and make them as comfortable as possible. Now, tell me exactly, when does the census start and end?
Well, we're going to start. We haven't set a date specifically, but we're going to start in June. And we are hoping that we can wrap up the field work in 6 months. So by end December, we are hoping to have everyone out of the field so we can start actually putting the data together so that the public can have an idea as to what the population is and other information.
Wonderful. Now, a big part of the Census 2020 is enumerators, persons who go house to house and share the questionnaires and receive information from the different households. There was an ad recently out for enumerators. Tell us about your department's quest or need for persons to sign up to be enumerators.
Well, yes. Many persons have asked before if we couldn't get the data from other sources, but that in itself would not be very helpful because of the kind and the number of questions that are asked in the questionnaire. However, we put out an ad for enumerators for this census every year. And by the way, let me just add that if it is that we could get the information from other records, I'm sure other countries would have done that. But practically every country sends enumerators out into the field to collect this information. So we don't ask much from the enumerators. We just want to send persons out there that households can feel confident and comfortable with interacting with them. So good interpersonal skills, good communication skills, friendly, patient, are some of the criteria that we ask that the enumerators have, before we actually send them out there.
Understood. Definitely. No, you mentioned earlier that this is your third census that you've participated in. Tell me a little bit about maybe some of the challenges that your department has faced as it pertains to getting proper statistics for the territory of the Virgin Islands.
Well, I don't want to say that it's a culture in the BVI, but it certainly is a problem where collecting data is a very, very difficult task. And it should not be so, because persons need to understand that all this data that we collect is in their best interest. Because for the policymakers to make decisions that are informed, they must have data.
Of course.
And if we all pay attention to what's going on in the world today, we can see how important data is. Data drives practically every decision that is made today throughout the world. We see that companies like Facebook and them, they're getting themselves in some issues because of the way they handle individuals' data.
Right.
That's not to be taken for granted. It just goes to show how important data is. So when we get the data from you, of course it goes through a process. At the end of the day, nobody can tell that it's data from you or any individual. But that data in its aggregate form, basically is what is used to make a host of decisions in this country. Decisions that allows us to drive on good roads, allow our children to go to good schools, allow the health sector to have whatever equipment or medication that is needed for the general population. Yes. So it's very important that we collect this data and collect accurate data, because if you feel that we're being intrusive, which sometimes it might feel that way a little bit
invasive, yeah.
Right, but the advantages outweigh the disadvantages by far by giving us the data and allowing us to have it available. For when your kids go off to school and they have to do their dissertations, they come to my department for the same data
facts,
that you give me, so that they can be successful in what they're doing.
Well said, Mr. Phillips. Ladies and gentlemen, we just want to encourage you one more time. When the enumerators come to your homes, this is a very, very important task that the Central Statistics Office is embarking on. Yet again, the Census 2020. So we want to encourage you to be very open-minded and participate in the Census 2020. That would afford Mr. Phillips and his wonderful team to get as much statistics as possible. Mr. Phillips, we'll have you back definitely, but we're out of time. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're most welcome.
Okay.
Back to you, Kyla.
Ron, thank you. Such an informative interview with Mr. Phillips. So on to our next story. Yesterday, we received breaking news about the massive earthquake that hit off the coast of Jamaica. Of course, we are back with details and some new developments. Now, viewers, around 2 p.m. yesterday, a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, that is a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, hit just northwest of Jamaica and southwest of Cuba. A tsunami warning was issued after the tremor for Cuba, Jamaica, and the Cayman Islands. Reports were made that the tremors were felt as far as Miami. Many reports from various news outlets confirmed people speaking about buildings in the city shaking after these earthquakes. Then, just under 2 hours later, an aftershock was hit off the shores of Cayman Island, measuring at 6.1 magnitude. Now, viewers, that's a lot. That is 2 major, massive earthquakes in the space of just yesterday. Of course, the region has been dealing with a lot of earthquakes recently over in Puerto Rico, but the Caribbean region has really been shaking by these earthquakes. We just have to pray and just hope that this is something that we don't have to deal with so long. So still ahead, hit and run leaves woman dead in Estate Thomas, and your weekly arrest blotter. All these and more when 284 News returns.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Viewers, welcome back on to a story just over on our sister island there in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The VI Consortium out of St. Thomas, USVI, has reported that a 60-year-old woman was found dead Tuesday morning in the streets of Estate Thomas on St. Thomas. About 6:41 a.m., authorities responded to a 911 call about a female lying unresponsive in the roadway in the Estate Thomas residential area. Emergency medical technicians confirmed the woman had no vital signs. A Virgin Islands Police Department report identified the woman as Valerie Tyson Clark. The incident is being investigated by the Traffic Investigation Bureau as a possible hit and run and a possibly pedestrian accident. An autopsy is pending to confirm cause of death, police said. Anyone with information about this incident are asked to call 911, the Traffic Investigation Bureau over in St. Thomas at 340-744-2211 or the Crime Stoppers USVI at 800-222-TIPS. Tragic story.
Tragic story.
Yes.
Hopefully the police could crack this one soon because it's very tragic.
Indeed.
On to our weekly arrest blotter. Police arrest and charge Marcus Lloyd, 48, of Harrigan Estate for assault occasioning actual bodily harm. He was granted bail in the amount of $10,000 with one shine surety to appear before the magistrate court. Police arrest and charge Sherry Ann Flax of South Valley, Virgin Gorda, for assault occasioning actual bodily harm and criminal trespassing. She was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 to appear before the magistrate court. Police arrest and charge Louis Velslow, 38, of Horsepart for failing to declare monies to customs. He was granted bail in the amount of $20,000 to appear before the magistrate court. Police arrest and charge Ryan Alfred, 25, of Hodges Creek for driving without an insured vehicle, driving an uninsured vehicle, and driving an unregistered vehicle, and using a license plate on a vehicle to which it was not been assigned. He was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 with one assigned surety to appear before the magistrate court. Police arrest and charge Carvin Robin, 22, of Purcell Estate for 2 counts of driving without a driver's license, 2 counts of driving with and not covered by insurance, giving false name to the police, failing to comply with a lawful order, failing to comply with a stop signal, and riding without a crash helmet. He was granted bail in the amount of $3,000 to appear before the magistrate court. Police arrest and charge Winston Stephen, 54, of Greenland for driving an unregistered vehicle, driving an unlicensed vehicle, and driving an uninsured vehicle. He was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 to appear before the magistrate court.
Another busy week for the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force.
Yes, so viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to visit us at 284news.com. Like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And I'm Ron Grant. We'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We are 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Have a great Wednesday evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
How may I assist you? Listen, you want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power? Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I'll see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. It's been said, sticks and stones may break bones, but words don't hurt me. That cannot be further from the truth. Everything you say and do creates an impact. Whether you're 13 or 30, 6 or 60, your actions and words carry weight. They either lift someone up or tear them down. 1 in 5 students ages 12 to 18 has been bullied during the school year. Approximately 160 teens have skipped school because of bullying. The most commonly reported types of bullying are verbal harassment, social harassment, physical bullying, and cyberbullying. Remember, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about, and bullying is never okay, whether it's in a classroom or corporation. 284 Media joins the Ministry of Education of the Government of the Virgin Islands in the fight against bullying. When you see it or hear it, speak up against it. Let's end bullying.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There's the answer code.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about